What's going on, everybody? Victor here with a brand new video, and in today's video I want to talk about another fight that's going to be taking place this Saturday, live from Las Vegas, Nevada, UFC 300. It's going to take place in the prelims. I'm talking about Holm versus the UFC debut of Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison 16-1, Holm 15-6. This is a very interesting matchup. Kayla Harrison being significantly much younger, 9 years younger than Holm, who's 42 years old. Kayla Harrison being 33. You've got the passing of the guard right here, the old line versus the young line. The young line making her UFC debut after a couple years with the PFL. She's 16-1. Her only loss has been against Larissa Pacheco, a former UFC vet in her own right. But when she did lose against Larissa Pacheco, some people were surprised, and some people like myself weren't surprised. She had already beaten her twice before in the past. So when you face the same opponent more than twice, the other times are just going to be, they're not going to be as exciting. They're not going to be as heart-thumping as the other two. You're going to go into that fight non-motivated whatsoever. And by the time that Harrison fought Pacheco for the third time, she was already casting doubts on her future with the PFL. She had one foot with the organization, with another foot outside of the organization. She had already beaten Pacheco twice, so there was a lot of doubt in the air. She wasn't really motivated going into that one fight, so it wasn't really surprising that she lost that fight against Larissa Pacheco, fighting her for the third time. That's one of the things I don't really like about tournament platforms, that you can be facing the same person once, twice, maybe three times in a year, and then the following year you might be doing the same exact thing. So facing the same as that person so many different times is really not that good. It's really not that exciting, and it does bad things for the sport of mixed martial arts at times. Another person that Kayla Harrison fought for her last fight at the PFL before making her way over to the UFC, becoming one of the biggest signings in UFC history. She ended up facing Aspen Ladd, and Aspen Ladd that left the UFC on a bad note. She had lost a couple of fights in a row. She had also had some weight mishaps as well with the organization, casting her to leave the UFC to be able to go up a weight class, 145 pounds, to the PFL, where she really still hasn't had that much success. So Kayla Harrison ended up beating Aspen Ladd by unanimous decision with her last fight of the PFL. Now, is that a really good win underneath your belt, facing someone that came over from the UFC with a not so much high rate of success? No, not so much. So the only caliber win that Kayla Harrison has had over the last couple years, other than Larissa Pacheco, would be Aspen Ladd. Holm on the other side, she is a seasoned veteran with the UFC. She's been with the promotion for many, many years. She does have a boxing background. Kayla Harrison on the other side has a judo background. She is an Olympic gold medalist for the United States of America. And this is just going to be a striker versus a grappler matchup, if you ask me, because the majority of Kayla Harrison's wins in her career have been by TKO via ground and pound. She has the nice judo throw. She can get her opponents down to the ground with ease. And if there's one thing about Kayla Harrison that's going to leave us with a lot of doubts, is she going to make the weight 135 pounds? When she competed with the PFL, she competed at 155 pounds. That is a woman's weight class that is extremely rare in mixed martial arts as a whole. There's a reason why the PFL was the only mixed martial arts organization in the world with 155 pounds women's division. There really aren't that many women out there fighting at that weight class. There's really not that many high competitors competing at that weight class, which is why the PFL was the only organization out there that had that weight class. And Bellator doesn't have it. One Championship doesn't have it. The UFC doesn't have it, all for a reason. It's hard to get fighters at that weight class, and for the PFL, it's hard to find. It was hard to find. It's basically still hard for them to find fighters at that weight class. So, not only is Kayla Harrison going down 2 weight classes, but it's going to be at a weight class that she's never fought at in her entire career. So is she going to make the weight? I have no idea. I hope she does, but she's going to be depleted 2 weight classes down, so the power isn't going to be translating at 100%, going 2 weight classes down, which is a good thing for Holm. This is going to be in an equal playing field. Both these women are about the same size when it comes to the height. Holm is going to have a 3-inch reach advantage, which is good for her because she is a boxer. She is a striker. When it comes to grapplers, you want to take out the legs first if I'm Holmes. And I'm Holly Holmes. I'm a UFC veteran. I'm facing someone that's making their UFC debut. I'm facing someone that the organization is bringing in to be able to beat me, to be able to act as a springboard for that individual to go up and eventually fight for the title very, very soon in her UFC career. If I'm Holly Holmes, I'm mad about that. If I'm Holly Holmes, I want to go in there. I want to take out her legs first. I want to work the calf kicks. I want to be able to take that mobility away from Kayla Harrison. To be able to prevent the takedowns, because she's definitely going to be able to go. She's definitely going to go in for the takedowns, whether Holly likes it or not. And I'm going to have to keep on moving. I'm going to have to cut the angles. I'm going to have to make Kayla Harrison really work for those takedowns. I'm going to have to sprawl. I'm going to have to get a crossface in there, work the wizard. I want to get a body, the overhands or the underhooks in there, and really make Kayla Harrison work. The more that you make Kayla Harrison work, the more tired she's going to get, because she's going to be depleted. She's going down two weight classes. Holly Holmes is going to have to work the jab. She's really going to have to work the jab to the face, really bother Kayla Harrison. She's going to work the jab. She's going to have to move around. She's going to have to work the combinations as well. Work it to the body. Kayla's not going to have that much meat on her bones, like I said, because of the weight cut that she's going to have to go through. And I believe this is going to be a hard weight cut for Kayla Harrison. So if I'm Holly Holmes, I'm keeping the movement no matter what. And if Kayla's going to try to go for a takedown, go in for the body lock against the fence of the octagon, work in some dirty boxing, and disengage when you feel that things are getting very uncomfortable at times, because they are. Like I said, Kayla Harrison is supposedly going to be the stronger individual going into this fight, but Holly Holmes has faced the best of the best in the 135-pound women's division. I'm talking about the Amanda Nunez's of the world, the Chris Cyborgs of the world. I'm talking about the Misha Tates of the world, the current champion, Raquel Pennington. She's faced her plenty of times. She's beaten her plenty of times as well. This is going to be a great matchup. But if I'm Kayla Harrison, you want to go in for the takedown, because Holly Holmes has been beaten in the past. She's been taken down in the past, and she's been submitted in the past by multiple people. She got submitted by Misha Tate. A lot of people didn't see that happening. She got submitted by Mayra Bona Silva as well on the feet. So if I'm Kayla Harrison, I'm smothering Holly Holmes to the ground, if not to the ground, against the fence. I'm trying to be able to make her uncomfortable as possible, putting as much pressure as possible on her as well. And as soon as I get her to the ground, I'm going to try my best to try to get either a half guard or a full guard. And once I've got that full guard, after softening her up with her a little bit of ground and pound, because there's the one thing about Kayla Harrison, over at the PFL, they do not allow elbows, ladies and gentlemen. They do not allow elbows whatsoever. So now that I've got that aspect of my game, as soon as I'm getting Holly Holmes to the ground, I'm hitting her with as many elbows as possible. And Kayla Harrison has got some nasty elbows as well. She took a fight outside of the PFL during the pandemic. I believe she was fighting underneath the Invicta banner for one fight only, and she absolutely crushed her opponent with the elbows that she was throwing down, busted her opponent wide open, blood everywhere, and I believe that the same thing can happen as well. You know, if I have Holly Holm on the ground, I'm gonna give her 2 or 3 elbows and try to be able to pass into that full guard and really hit her hard and really try to get that TKO finish. Kayla Harrison has submitted people in the past, but I believe her key to victory is to get the fight to the ground as fast as possible, get into the clinch, try to get that judo throw, and pass the full guard of Holly Holm and really beat her up with that ground and pound, whether it's elbows, whether it's strikes on the ground as well. Holly Holmes, if I'm on the ground, the first thing I want to do is I want to crab walk. As soon as I get to the fence of the octagon, I want to wall walk back out to my feet, disengage, meet back in the middle. That's going to have to be the thing that she's going to have to do. If Kayla Harrison is in full guard and I'm Holly Holmes and I'm the bottom, you want to bridge as hard as possible. Explode and bridge and hope that Kayla Harrison's thrown off balance and you can be able to get back on your feet and be able to reset on the feet and be able to try to put Kayla Harrison in uncomfortable positions. If I'm Holly Holmes, I'm working the leg kicks as well, the calf kicks, not only the calf kick, but the body kick and the head kick as well. If she can be able to utilize that head kick, because she does it very, very well, then she can be able to catch Kayla Harrison off guard and possibly be able to not only just knock her down, but also be able to get that knockout as well. So there's so many different variations in how this fight can be able to go. I really do like this fight a lot. It's crazy how it's not the featured bout on the prelims, but there's so much energy and so much talent stacked on that card. It's not surprising at the same time, but I really do like this matchup. I'm going to go with Holly Holmes on this one. If you guys ask me who I think is going to win, I believe that Kayla Harrison is going to be depleted because of this weight cut, and I believe she's going to get tired pretty fast. And as soon as she gets tired, that's when Holly Holmes is going to pounce on her. And there's one thing about Holly Holmes that we all know is that you can never count her out of the fight. You can never truly count her out of there, and you can truly never really give up on her because she's had her ups and downs. Sure, she does have a 15-6 record, but she's 42 years of age. She's been out of her prime for a very, very long time now, and she's still fighting and competing against the best competition in the whole entire world. And she should be mad. She should be pissed off that the UFC is bringing Kayla Harrison over and pitting her up against her, trying to basically make Holly Holmes into a springboard for Kayla Harrison to be able to fight maybe one or two more fighters at the 135 pounds to get her a title shot as fast as possible. The UFC has been known to fast track people they have brought into the UFC. They did it with Michael Chandler. They're most likely going to do it with Michael Venom Page, and they're most likely going to do it with Kayla Harrison. Like I said, with the biggest signings they've made in the history of the UFC, they've always fast-tracked them. And Israel Adesanya was another one as well. Alex Pereira was another one as well. They tend to fast-track some of their hottest signings, and this is just another case of it. But I'm going to go with Holly Holmes on this. I believe she's going to win by unanimous decision. I believe Kayla Harrison is going to get tired. Holly Holmes is going to pounce on her. She's going to take advantage of it, and she's going to run away with a unanimous decision victory. Appreciate you guys watching this video. What do you guys think about Kayla Harrison making her UFC debut? Is Holly Holmes going to be the biggest test of the day for Kayla Harrison? Has Kayla Harrison faced anyone better than Holly Holmes before making it into the UFC when she did fight in the PFL? I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Stay blessed, stay safe, and enjoy the fights this Saturday live from Las Vegas, Nevada. UFC 300, guys. Let's go. Later.